Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to another Thaumcraft 4.2 tutorial. So today we're going to be getting into the interesting fun stuff, and that is Eldritch. Eldritch Tab is amazing. I love it. It's one of the best parts of this. It's the most interesting, fun part. It's so dark magic, but it's so interesting at the same time. So what I brought you to today is this thing called the Eldritch Obelisk. So these are generated randomly in the world. If we see on the map here, see if we can find another one. We got some tainted land over here by the looks of it. But they are quite easy. If you have a map open, there you go. We got another one over here. We got huge ass villages over here as well for some reason. I'm going to go check them out in a bit. We got another one over here. Actually, let's go check this one out. Go to the south. So we had one up the north here, which is just plain and empty. As you can see there, they're made up of like a load of obsidian kinds of things. And it's got a sinister node in the middle there. So here's our little testing area over here. We're going to fly right on over that thing there. Let the chunks load themselves, and over here, do we have one spawning in? No, we do not indeed. Right, so as you can see here, we've got a Sinister Lodestone. If we're to grab our, let's just quickly open up Thaumcraft again. Whoops. Right, so let's open Thaumcraft bits and pieces, and we're going to grab ourselves a thermometer. If you scan this little puppy here, you will see that it is a sinister node. Every single one of these things have a sinister node in the middle of them, and for good reason. You're gonna have to use. I think they've got to stay there for the later on. I really kind of want to check this village out because I don't understand why it's so crazy. Like, why does it have so many walls? Like, do they build these now? Is this a new thing? What are these from? Witchery? What? What? Wow. This is amazing. Sorry, right, okay, I'm going off on a tangent here, but let's head on back. There's some really, really funky stuff here. Look at all these witchery things. This is amazing. Oh my god, right. Witchery stepped up its game. Right, so let's head on back over here. Sorry about that, I headed off a little tangent. I'm definitely going to have to do a spotlight on Witchery now. But right, so we got this thing called Eldritch Altar. Occasionally, I kind of want to go see if we can find one. Let's go to this one. We're going to go over to this one real quick. But occasionally they will spawn with crimson people around them. They're going to be a variety of crimson knights and the guardians. I can't remember what they're called. I honestly cannot remember what they're called. Hopefully we can get some spawning over here. No, they're not going to spawn. They're not going to spawn. But occasionally, like, some of them are going to be empty, and then some of them are going to have things in them. And they're going to be Crimson Clerics, I believe, and the Crimson Knights. So let's grab these two out, and you can see what they look like. So these are the Crimson Knights, and these are the Clerics. These guys, there's normally about 4 of them channeling into these. Once you kill all 4 of these guys won't spawn anymore. These guys here will carry on spawning as long as the clerics are channeling things into them. If you get too close, they will get aggroed and they will chase after you. Might as well stay at this one now that we're over here. But yeah, so these guys will channel, like, naturally you'll come over, they'll be channeling energy into this thing. And the... don't know where he's gone, but the knights will circle around and they'll spawn randomly around these things, and as long as the clerics are channeling, they will carry on spawning. They all do have their very, very own armor drops as well. Do not know why I carry on flying away, but they do all have their own armor drops. You cannot craft these things, you can only get them from killing these guys. So you got your knights, which will drop your Crimson Cult boots. They'll drop Crimson Cult helmets, chest plates, and greaves. These things here, I'm not exactly sure where you get these from. I think these are a little bit later on towards the boss thing. But these things here will drop this. And then the clerics will drop the hood, robe, and leggings. They are very extremely difficult to get. So don't expect just to kill them with a looting 3 sword and get them straight away. We're going to fly back on over here because we don't need to be over there for the time being. Where's the testing area? Okay, I'm on the wrong side. But yeah, so they are extremely, extremely hard to get. So don't expect just to get it straight away with your looting enchantment, because that's not going to happen. Not going to happen whatsoever. So let's have a look at Eldritch a little bit more. So when you start off your Eldritch tab, once you unlock the Eldritch tab, you should just have this Eldritch Epiphany thing, which will be the first steps into the unknown. Suddenly become clear to you where others see chaos. You occasionally catch a glimpse of a pattern, a very strange, disturbing pattern. Something stirs in the deepest, darkest corners in the universe. You try to explain it to others, but receives only strange looks in return. No matter, you will show them someday. You will show them all. So this is going to allow you to create void seeds using regular vanilla wheat seeds, and you're going to need 2 Alienus, 8 Tenebrae, and 8 Bacchus. This is going to allow you to make void seeds, and what you can do with your void seeds is you can turn them into void metals. So this is going to take 8 metallum in a crucible as well, and you're going to be able to make void metal ingots. So it's very, very handy that you're able to craft them, and then with this you can make all the armor and all your vanilla tools, including a hoe. You got your hoe, you got your shovel, you got this thing here. Hasn't got a great amount of durability on it, but it does have quite a high mining level. This one here has quite a high bit of damage on it. It'll do 7 damage, whereas diamond sword will only do 6, will it? Let's double check that, just confirm myself. No, it does 7, so it'll do the exact same amount of damage, but it's a lot cheaper than diamonds, and you can sort of grow them yourselves, which is really, really cool. It isn't as easy to enchant, but still compares favorably to mundane materials as... Okay, so it is quite, like, durable. It gives good protection. It really does give quite good protection. It gives 7 protection there. So it's a little bit less than diamond, but it's definitely better than iron, and it is fairly cheap to make, like I said. So don't expect it to be amazing, but you can make it quite easily. So you can make all the different kinds of armor with that, and I'll show you what it looks like, because it does look quite funky. But yeah, let's grab some void helm, chest plate, that, and the legs. So I personally am not a fan of this stuff. You have a look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It looks funky. It looks really, really weird. I personally wouldn't wear it. And it's just going to keep giving you warp. So just bear that in mind as well. You get warping 1 on every single piece of that. So there's that downside to it. But I do think that can be improved later on. I can't remember. We'll have a look at that in a second. So other things you can do now that you're on this tab. Next piece will probably be the Primal One Focus. I can't remember if we've covered this, but it is fairly easy to make. Primal One Focus is just a Primal Charm. Primal Charm is just 1 of each of the shards, including the balance shard, and 2 gold ingots with 25 of each essentia. And that'll make you one Primal Charm, and then you just surround that in nether quartz and diamonds with 25 of each essentia again, and that'll give you a Primal Focus. This is a very, very cool focus indeed. One of my favorites. Well, kind of. When you upgrade these, I'm pretty sure we covered this in the upgrading side of things, but we didn't actually show how to make it because we weren't in the Eldritch tab yet. But let's just go ahead and equip this thing. But when you upgrade it, you can actually have it to lock onto things and home in on them. But for the most part, it's really, really random. It's very inaccurate. As you can see, I fired there. It's gone all the way over there. But it does cause massive, massive damage. See, it doesn't want to go straight. Well, it doesn't cause that much damage, but it is cool, and it causes explosions and stuff like that. There you go. Die, chicken, die. You can just spam this, and it doesn't actually have, like, a standard cost. As you can see, it fluctuates a lot. Let's just quickly take this off. There you go. It fluctuates all the time, so there's no stand cost for it. It will just keep going and going and going, and it will just randomly cost you random bits and pieces every single time. I think it fluctuates between 0.5 and I think I've seen 2.5. Yeah, I see up to 2.5 on there. So it fluctuates between 0.5 and 2.5 in each of the aspects. So there's no definitive cost for it. So it's a pretty cool one. Once you upgrade that, that can be quite powerful. That will also lead on to the staff core of the primal, which we'll get onto a little bit. So the next bit that I really want to look at and pretty much cover you guys with will be the Sanity Checker. So things have become busy in your mind lately. It's probably best that you have a look in there, make sure everything's still alright. This tool will allow you to check the effects of warp on your or on your psych and how much it is affecting you. Of course, you cannot allow a tool like this to fall in the hands of your enemies, so you've taken great pains to obfuscate the information it provides. You might have gone too far, though. You're having a hard time deciphering it yourself. So to make this thing, it's not too bad at all. It's going to take a bit of infusion. You put a thermometer in the middle. You should all know how to make yourselves a thermometer by now. You need a diamond and a zombie brain. Zombie brains are dropped by zombies, which you probably know. And you need a piece of mirror glass, which is quicksilver, and a glass pane. Just place all these together. You need 8 alienists, 24 cognito, and 24 sensors. Infuse yourself up one of these, and these things are going to let you know exactly how much warp you have. So there's all these different kinds of levels of warp. I think I've talked about them briefly before, but let's go a little bit more in depth with these things. So as you can see here, up in the top left there, we have a bar. It's pretty much full. It's like so full up in the corner there. As you can see, there's two different shades of purple on there, though. You've got the dark purple, which is your permanent warp, which is never ever going to go away. And then the stuff above it is like your sort of sticky warp, which is your temporary warp, which can be removed. And that leads back to the arcane spar that we covered a while ago. It does take a lot of work to get this done. But simply all you have to do is stand in there, scrub yourself with a load of sanitizing soap. And don't know what that's doing. Scrub yourself with a ton of the sanitizing soap. Let's quickly go up and have a look. Sit in some bath salts, scrub yourself with the sanitizing soap for a while. You're going to have to go through a couple of these to get yourself down. So it is going to be quite expensive to get rid of some of that warp. But there is other ways around it if you have the add-ons, which I'll cover in another point. It's part of Thaumcraft Tinkerer. So if you don't have it, go and get it, because this thing here will make your life so much easier. Which is why you never ever see me with warp while, well, not a lot of warp, not a lot of warp effects while I'm doing these tutorials. But yeah, definitely go and check that out. So we're going to have a little bit more of a look at this. There's some other bits and pieces in here which we're going to cover later on. Void Metal 1 caps, Advanced Essentia storage, Thaumaturge robes. There's quite a bit in here. And then we've got the Outer Lands and the Revelations. All of this stuff. This is all the really interesting stuff. But it pretty much chains up this way. But in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to cover the staff core of the Primal. Just double check we can do that. Yes, we can indeed. So we're going to cover this bit here. We're going to cover the 1 caps. The Void Metal 1 caps. We're going to cover the Advanced Essentia storage. That one's quite funky indeed. And we'll have a look at the Thaumaturge robes. The Void ones anyway. And then we can start moving our way down here. And then we can cover all of this stuff here. But that is going to be it for today's video. I do apologise that I don't have like a lot prepared for the video. And I sort of just did it off the bat here. But I just thought I just wanted to jump into it today and get it over and done with. And start getting into the Eldritch, because I'm dead excited to get into this, as you probably guys are dead excited as well, and you should be, because it's awesome. My hand seemed to be going really slow then, but yeah, it's really awesome, really cool pass, especially when you get to the Outer Lands. I cannot wait to get there with you guys. And yeah, so there's a couple other bits and pieces that I haven't covered, and I will be covering them in the next video, which leads to the Eldritch Guardians, which is how you get a load of other stuff, which leads to the eyes and stuff like that. But like I said, I'll cover that in the next video. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have yourselves a very fantastic day. Make sure you like that video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see all your beautiful faces in the next video. Goodbye.